Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Today is July 25th, 2022. It is Monday. Sorry I didn't make it on Friday and Saturday. I was just too hot. It was very busy. But I'm here now to help us to unpack the craziness, and I hope you had a good weekend. It was good here in Massachusetts. It was just humid. This summer I have taken to not putting the air conditioning unit in this room. It's in the next room, and because it's so noisy, so I don't have central air. Anyway, so don't anybody complain about any background noises because I have fans on, because I'm not going to sweat like crazy. The moon is in Cancer today. It's a good day to tend to self-care, nurturing. I think I heard somewhere that yesterday was self-care day or something. This is a day for everything. There's pizza day, there's ice cream day. National Ice Cream Day was last week. If you didn't get your ice cream, go out and get your ice cream. If you missed National Ice Cream Day, this is the time. In the northern hemisphere anyway. Let's take a look at what's going on over the weekend. Well, there was a Trump rally in Arizona where he was endorsing the candidate Kari Lake. People, we need to be on board. We need to vote these Republicans out. Kari Lake is a staunch white Christian extremist who's sometimes people get caught up in appearances. She appears like coiffed and put together, but she's a horrible person. And so he was out promoting her, doing his string of lies. If you've watched even just a few Trump rallies, you know what he's going to say. And so it's pretty much by the script. He gets out there, he does 45 minutes, usually longer. It used to be longer when he was actually promoting himself, not just endorsing a candidate. Still up there complaining. It's a constant stream of lies and endorsing horrible human beings. And speaking of horrible human beings, if you caught any of what they call the Turning Point Convention for Young Americans over the weekend, I just caught a couple of snippets of it. They had Ted Cruz, they had it set up like on the stage was like a rock star with the smoke machines and the light show and everything. And Ted Cruz, what a waste of money. I'm telling you, these heinous humans that are so inhuman in so many ways, for them actually to think that they're cool and that they're rock stars, will somebody just send them a memo? They don't know what that is. They wouldn't know it if it bit them in the you-know-what. They don't know how to be cool. So they need to just stop trying, because they've hijacked every bit of decency that we have as humans in the United States. And add to that their insistence that being aware and using your intelligence and using your compassion and your feeling nature and accepting nature to be a good human. They're claiming that that's something to be made fun of and renounced. And they call it woke. So Ron DeSantis was up there acting like he was, God's gift to, to himself. And they're working as hard as they can to promote hatred and divisiveness, especially to the younger generation. Well, I know a lot of this younger generation is very evolved and advanced, and it's going to be interesting to see, not the ones that were at that Turning Point convention, but a lot of the others. And there are more of the others that are good people than the ones that are going to go ahead and carry the torch for hatred. So let's take a look at what's going on with the big Cheeto, his energy. He looked pretty hot and miserable, so let's see. I really do feel like what's coming for him in Florida is really coming for him, not in Florida, in Georgia. Sometimes I mix those two up. What's coming for Donald J. Trump in Georgia is something that he cannot get on top of. He cannot fight that. There are no loopholes for him in Georgia. So we'll see what's going on. The death card. There's a big change coming for Donald J. Trump. Let's take a look. I did find my pendulum. 1 down, 4 to go. Under the blanket on the couch. That's kind of where they go, underneath things. Let's take a look at. Is Georgia? Yeah, it looks like Georgia is where Trump has no defense. He has no defense, and you know his defenses are always not legit, and his delaying tactics are not legit, and he lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. So there's an end coming for him. I don't feel like he's going to seriously run for president. He may announce it. Let's take a look at that. He may announce it, but I don't really see him running. Is Donald J. Trump going to announce that he's going to run for president? In general, is he just going to? I don't know why I get no on that. That could mean that he does say it but doesn't really mean it. I'm getting no, that he's not going to announce that he's running for president. Why would that be? Because he keeps threatening to. Is it because of money? It's because of money. So we'll see. Fani Willis, and this is take a deep breath, everybody. It's taken time for this to happen in Georgia. I do see. I know it sounds like it's a far away time, but I do see September as a time when things really start tumbling down for him. And September is when the January 6th committee hearings resume. I did say here a couple of times that this last hearing, even though they were previously calling it the last hearing, at this past hearing they did say there'll be more hearings. I was not surprised by that, and I was pleased that was actually what I had said, and that's a good thing that they're doing that. Okay, so is Donald Trump going to be on trial? I'm getting that he's going to be tried. So since when I last spoke to you on Monday, right? Because then I was with Corey on Wednesday. If you want to watch that, it's Bridge Cape Ann on YouTube. And then I skipped Friday, I skipped Saturday. Church of Spirituality was Sunday. So during the time that I wasn't on, Steve Bannon was found guilty, and he's going to jail. Let's see how long he's going to jail for. See if the pendulum will give us that. Will it be longer than 30 days? It'll be longer than 30 days. Will it be longer than 6 months that Steve Bannon is going to jail? Doesn't look like it'll be longer than 6 months. I think he should go to jail for 20 years. I know it's very frustrating that we're not seeing justice. We're not seeing it, so I want everyone to visualize it. And speaking of that, on Tuesdays we have a guided meditation group. The guided meditation is only 20 minutes. We meet from 7 to 7:30 Eastern Time, PM. If you'd like to join us, send an email to annettedion7 and at gmail.com, annettedion7@gmail.com. Just type 20 in the subject line. We do that every Tuesday. So we want to visualize what we want to see happen. I know Ivana Trump, she passed away, and I know that she's going to have an impact on those kids as a guide, as a spirit guide to them. I know they're devastated by that. Anyway, but back to Bannon being found guilty of contempt of Congress. What an idiot. I have the sense that Bannon in his mind was like a barbarian in a past life. He really was one. He has like pirate, barbarian, he's always talking about medieval combat, which is what they did at the insurrection. At the hearings, we heard that he actually had the actual plan of what Trump was going to do on January 6th, play by play. That was there. Meanwhile, back at, Ivana's passing, Ivana, they had the funeral on Thursday last week, I think. And I feel like her spirit's going to influence the kids to tell the truth about their father. Another side note, I heard today that during the insurrection, Melania was nowhere to be found, and she claimed that she was in the White House photographing the rugs. I'm telling you. What planet are they on? It boggles my brain. I'm picking 3 cards about Ivana's influence on how Ivana's spirit is going to influence her kids, because I don't feel like she's one of those souls that crossed over to the other side and is just going to be la-di-da-di-da for a while before she interferes. This is interesting. Ivana's influence is actually, it's kind of like a tough love thing. One of her sons is going to spend time in prison. Who is that? One of the Trump kids is going to spend time in prison. Is it Don Jr.? It looks like it's Don Jr. I don't think I have to go any further than that. It looks like Don Jr. is going to spend some time behind bars. And the reason that I'm saying tough love is Ivana, I feel like Ivana's influence is going to sort of whisper in those kids' ears in a way. And I mean, it's not really how guides talk, but that's my way of describing it. Influence them, give them the feeling that it'd be better to tell the truth. And they'll get along better. It's kind of like them showing up for the January 6th committee, Ivanka showing up for the January 6th committee, and did Eric? I think Eric did, and pleaded the 5th. It's hard to keep track. I know that Eric was questioned. I'm trying to remember what he was questioned for. Was it the January 6th committee? Jared, definitely, I know he's a son-in-law. I feel like Ivanka's not going to get in big trouble for January 6th because of her cooperating. It pays to cooperate. It's going to pay for some of these Trump kids to cooperate. But I see Don Jr. in trouble, and the guides are showing me Don Jr. in trouble for something really, really, really stupid that he already did or that he's about to do. Okay, so the heinous turning point convention. I'm going to read some cards about how awful those Republicans were at that heinous convention and how that's going to affect the Republicans. Is it really going to be in vogue to hate? Because you know what? I don't know why these people don't know what goes around comes around. If you want people to be nice, then be nice. If you want to have a good life, then be a good person. What are they thinking? Are they really enjoying this? So I'm picking 3 cards about the after effect of the Turning Point Convention. What's that going to do for these Republicans? Is it really going to make them more popular? Yikes! I don't think so. So this is about the Turning Point Convention where they were Matt Gaetz was telling people that when you go to a women's rights march, that the women would never get pregnant because they look like a thumb. What? Is Matt Gaetz going to jail? Is Matt Gaetz going to jail? Well, that looks like a pretty strong yes. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, you know what the guys are saying about Matt Gaetz is he really pissed off some judges. Female judges, no less. Ron DeSantis was up there saying something about math books that are woke. Didn't even make any sense. Ted Cruz is up there making fun of people that identify with pronouns, which in certain settings, that's just what's done. And then he said something about, I'll give you a pronoun, you can kiss my ass. I'm like, what? That's not even funny. Anyway, so the CPAC, that's when they went to Hungary. The Turning Point Convention over the weekend made a lot of people very, very, very angry. Well, that could be mobilizing. Made a lot of people angry. And it kind of got them, the GOP, these Republicans that were up there speaking, saying horrible, horrible things. It's actually, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because it did not advance their cause. It really didn't. And the Hierophant Convention, what I mean by convention is, this is about morals and ethics and decency. So in the face of decency, you know, just traditional doing the right thing, saying the right thing, telling the truth, not lying, not pointing fingers and lying about people, and calling them names. Okay, they made people very angry. They made Americans very angry. The hateful language made people very angry. And they actually got the whole cause of their running for offices and having that turning point convention kind of put them in a stuck place. They have no damn platform. And I don't know why we would elect people, well, we wouldn't, people that watch this channel wouldn't. I don't know why anybody would elect somebody who's not going to do anything for them. All they do is spew their anger for the people that are fans, I guess. They just, for people that are fans of anger and hatred, they're serving a purpose. We need channels of love. Speaking of channels of love, keep jumping around. One of our viewers, her name is Maria, well, I'll just say Maria R, has had a series of tumbles and I got an email from her. Her body's taken a beating. Sometimes we go through these times in life where we just keep having, like, you know, clumsy accidents and stuff. So she needs some healing energy. So pray for Maria R, because she asked me to ask you all to pray for her. Okay, let's take a look at the January 6th committee. Let's just pull 4 cards about the aftermath of you know, and Liz Cheney was on Fox propaganda channel anyway, but she was on Fox telling the truth about what has been uncovered about Donald J. Trump. And the news is getting out to the people on the right that watch Fox. So we're looking at what the after effect of the January 6th committee hearings to this point are producing. Yikes! The death card. This is the end of Donald J. Trump. This is the end for him. People are actually, this is weird because Fox has covered some of it, and people are, you know, it's the kind of thing where it's like, you give them a little bit and they're like, what? They want to find out more. It's like, oh my gosh, that really happened, because a lot of these people really, of course I'm not talking about everyone. I'm not talking about the people that are in the cult. I'm talking about the people that aren't in the cult, that voted for Donald Trump because they love being a Republican. There are people like that. The January 6th committee, this is what's turned up. The insurrectionists, the senators that went in on it, and we'll get to Josh Hawley. This is really bad for them. This is really bad for them. I'm actually surprised and pleased to see how bad it is for the Republicans to that were involved to have this going on. So I encourage everybody to keep on thinking about the positive, to keep visualizing the outcome that you want. If you want Steve Bannon to be in jail longer, visualize that, for instance. And don't listen to the news that's projecting negative things and scaring you. I know Rachel Maddow was on Monday nights. I'm not watching her at the current time. Rachel Maddow has a tendency to paint the worst possible scenario and get you all upset. I'd rather go to the cards to see what's going to happen. Because you can worry your head off for forever, but why waste your energy doing that when you can put your energy into thinking about what you want to create? That's why we have our meditation on Tuesdays. let's take a look at, gosh, there's so much to choose from. Let's switch topics from politics to the weather, which is connected to politics. It has been the worst summer in history. I really feel for people that don't have adequate air conditioning, that live in the South and in the Southwest, the people that are suffering from droughts. I harped away in my hometown about there's too much development here, we're going to have a drought, no one would listen to me. Lo and behold, front page of the paper, right after I'd contacted the mayor about it and said, we're going to have a drought, we're going to have a drought. He's like, don't worry about it. Front page of the paper, we're having a drought. It doesn't take a psychic. Anyway, my point is that this has been the worst summer in recorded history, weather-wise. And then the planet's burning up. I'm pretty dumbfounded that we can continue as a human civilization thinking that someone's going to do something about it and nothing's really being done. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to ask the cards about it. Is anything going to be done? I mean, well, how bad does it have to get? Does it have to get 100% worst case scenario? Perhaps. Poor Joe Biden got COVID. And he still has to work, right? I thought it'd be good for him to take a rest. He had a pretty good excuse. I mean, he could go golfing, right? Anyway, here's the weather. Here's the weather situation. Lot of destruction. Texas is going to have a blackout. Is it a blackout or a brownout? Is Texas going to have a blackout? Texas is going to have a large blackout. Don't panic if you're in Texas. Just get a generator. Is Governor Abbott, I hate to call him governor, is Abbott going to win the governorship in Texas? No. Do you know what? This is giving me hope because I really feel like people are going to I feel like people are actually going to get it. People are actually going to go, enough already. And we think that, and we think it's not going to happen. But I do think it's going to happen. So as far as global climate change, it just takes a while. The Eight of Cups is all the destruction that's going to happen. This card prompted me to talk about Texas. Gosh, when's that going to be? I know that they're monitoring how much electricity that they use in the energy state of the United States. That used to boast the most powerful, efficient utilities in the world. Yeah, thanks, Abbott. Is Abbott going to, is he going to lose his seat? Abbott's going to lose his seat. There are people coming in, running for public office. I feel like this is Beto. He looks a little like Ted Cruz, but this, oops. It's not Ted Cruz, but this is representing, because it's a King of Cups, the energy of Beto O'Rourke, who does care. And the Queen of Wands. This is a female in Texas who's running for office, who's going to make a big splash during the crises that Texas is about to get into. So that's about weather. Yeah, I don't know. I'm talking about weather, and I flipped right to Texas. I feel like that's where we're going to see the whole cookie start to crumble, is in Texas. Which makes sense because hurricane season is on its way. It starts soon. It's pretty much August through October. We keep our eye on that on the coast. Okay, so I want to know more about the weather. Are we going to get a handle on things in terms of really getting some climate change initiatives to combat this? Really get that going. I want to mention that I did see Pete Buttigieg being interviewed on Fox. They keep on inviting him on. They're gonna get the truth. And he made a good point, because he said from 2010 to 2022, we've experienced that we've made a great shift in global climate change for the bad, because we've not really done anything as a human civilization, anything that's going to really make it an impact. So because we could make it that bad, we can make it better too. So let's see if that in fact is going to happen. It needs to happen, or we're, This is about our survival, people. You know, this is not anything to be taken like, oh, well, we'll see someday. Someone else will handle it. Nope, we have to handle it. It will be challenging. Joe Manchin's going to lose his seat. I have to keep grabbing my pendulum for confirmation. Is Joe Manchin going to lose his seat? Oh my gosh, people in West Virginia are angry. I mean, the people in the southern states, like Texas, right? This is like the oil drilling capital. I don't know if they technically call it that, probably. And they're burning up. And they're really going to keep digging for oil? Drilling for oil? It's going to be extremely challenging. The sun is going to be extremely challenging, as we know. And I actually see, this is, I actually see Joe Biden leading the way on doing something to combat global climate change. And I see Obama being a part of that. I don't know if he would get Obama on board with helping him with that. I think that Joe Biden could use Obama just to, you know, just to get up there and say a few things, or I mean, just get up and give a speech anywhere. More. And I think Obama will get a little bit more involved in what's happening in the country. I recognize that with the rise of white supremacy, I hate that those words are even coming out of my mouth. The resurgence of, it's a little bit risky for him. It is, and I think that Michelle Obama, actually, I really feel like Michelle puts the kibosh on that frequently. I can't believe some people are like, is Michelle Obama going to run for president when hell freezes over in July? Let's see. So we had the January 6th committee hearings. I know we need to delve a little bit into Merrick Garland, so we'll do that. I still always do get that when the time is right, it's all gonna come tumbling down for Trump. I'm not feeling like he's on stable ground. I mean, Trump, at all. Let's see. So we're gonna go to the DOJ. Those guys are telling me there's lots and lots and lots of more information coming out. We will look into the Secret Service too. The DOJ is keeping, Merrick Garland is keeping to himself. He's not going to tell us yet. Excuse me. The Three of Cups, there's cause. We will get little dribs and drabs of good information though. Good, like clues, good signs that justice is coming. Fani Willis, that's happening first. That's happening first. The situation in Georgia. I'm getting Trump will be on trial. And I feel like that's going to come first. Letitia James, looks like that will come second. The only way that Donald J. Trump would get away with everything is if we're a completely lawless country. If we're completely a country without laws. That's how Donald J. Trump would get away with things. Are we a country without any laws? No. We're not a country without laws. We have enough people in this country that really do care. Including me and you. Alright, the Secret Service. If you think about this stuff too much, it will freak you out. So, take breaks. Yeah, the Secret Service that was entrusted with our national security is hiding text messages. The most violent attack on our democracy in the United States. The most violent. The most heinous. And the Secret Service, which is supposed to protect us, was in on it. Don't be fooled. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. There's a way to access those text messages. I don't care what anybody says. There is a way, and we will find it. Let's see what the cards say. And I did say a while back that I saw 2 Secret Service agents having to be at the hearings. Trump appointed them. Trump appointed these Secret Service agents, not just Trump. I do see a leader of a foreign nation involved in that insurrection. figure that out? The Secret Service, I just said it's going to come tumbling down on the Secret Service. They were Trump appointed, but not officially. That's what I'm getting about the Secret Service. They were in on the insurrection. They had the guys are showing me a guide, like a plan, like a blueprint, like this is how it's going to work. This is what the Secret Service is going to do. That's why Mike Pence didn't get into the car, because he knew what they were up to. He did know. They were going to whisk him away to an undisclosed location. And I don't think they were going to assassinate Mike Pence, the Secret Service, when he was when they were wanting him to get in the car. He knew that they were going to take him away. I think they would have just kept him off campus, off the campus of the Capitol long enough, maybe for a few days, so he couldn't go back and ceremoniously certify the election. Anyway, so I see the Secret Service it's gonna be found out. It's gonna be found out that they were illegitimate. They were in on the insurrection. Everybody, take good care of yourself. Take deep breaths and big breaks, because what's coming now? I've said all along I've said it's gonna make your hair curl about these January 6th committee. If your hair is curly, it's gonna make it straight. The law is going to come down on the Secret Service. This country needs a complete and total overhaul of our democracy. In a good way. And the Two of Wands, I'm getting the two. I'm getting there are two Secret Service agents who actually weren't really working for Trump. They kind of did a wink wink, and I guess we'll do this for Trump. But that's about it. When the rubber hit the road, they were like, okay, we're best off telling what we know. So I do see two Secret Service agents being subpoenaed and having to appear before the January 6th committee in September. I do feel like, just like today, there was a lot of news that was leaking out about other things that the January 6th committee is finding out. Let's take a look at Liz Cheney. I want to see... Liz Cheney is not worried about her seat in Wyoming at all, not even a little. She wants to keep her seat in Wyoming, but this is way more important. I said about Liz Cheney, I said this is her purpose. What she's doing right now is what she signed up to do. This is her purpose, and then she said as much. Over the weekend. I think that was maybe the Fox News interview too. The Fox, not Fox News. So what's going to happen with Liz Cheney? Well, I see there's a lot of disappointment. She's having a lot of disappointment because Liz Cheney is finding out how damaged our country is. And she's actually questioning if we can get back on track. This is like, she feels a little bit, this is like, being stuck between a rock and a hard place in Wyoming. She's sad that she will lose her seat. But the Prince of Swords is, her and Adam Kinzinger, they're going to end up in good standing in the United States. So they're sticking together. And I really get the sense that with Liz Cheney, she and Adam Kinzinger, it feels like they're going to see if, after they're finished with, all the hearings, see if they can pull together a new kind of Republican Party that's more like the old Republican Party. I feel like she's going to be active in that. And getting America on track with, not everybody is horrible. It's just there's a glorification of hatred and violence going on, and white supremacy, which is hatred. I know it's unbelievable that we're still going through this racism in this country, given all that we've been through. Let's take a look at abortion rights. Kamala Harris is out there talking about I mean, the meanness with the Republicans, the meanness is the point, the cruelty is the point, and they're trying to out-cruelty each other with so many things. But this in particular, women's rights, and let's see if we're going to see some changes coming. Maybe we'll look at Clarence Thomas too. Ginny Thomas, I did read on that. We'll take a look again. Ginny Thomas, it felt to me like would be, you know how they were pre-recording behind the scenes interviews? That's what I see more than her showing up in person. As far as abortion rights, it looks like there's a turn in the right direction. It's very unconstitutional what they've done, taking away women's rights. It's going to take a little time. It's going to take a lot of pain. There's going to be some sacrificial lambs, unfortunately, especially in the red states, but it's actually going to end up being, it's going to be turned around. Roe's going to be turned around. Turned back around. Back around. For the good. It's unconstitutional what the Supreme Court is doing. They're in their seat supposedly to preserve the Constitution. Hang on. And these cards are more to do with that. Women are going to feel really hemmed in. Women will have children that have no circumstances that will be suitable for having children, including their physical capacity. Women will die. That's what I get. There'll be sacrificial lambs. There'll be too many that die, and we will be needing to change things because of that. And a lot of it has to do with, I mean, this isn't the basis, but a contributing factor to us as a nation turning this back around and giving women their rights is we're looking really bad in the eyes of the world, taking away women's rights in a supposed democracy. The Nine of Wands, I see somebody behind bars that has to do with it's not a woman. I see somebody behind bars. Unfortunately, it feels connected to violence around an abortion clinic. Let's get a little bit more about that. I don't want to put out that terrible energy. I just feel like somebody's going to be behind bars. It may have already happened. I feel like it already happened. And the Queen of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. Women will get their rights back. For some reason, I'm seeing somebody behind bars for having done something awful to a woman. I'm getting the bounty thing, something about the bounty thing. And that's going to turn things around because it's so awful that we have to turn it around. Okay, there's probably something really, really big that I'm missing. I didn't take any notes, but I will be back. And I'm going to quickly look at, I heard somebody say that psychics on YouTube are saying Putin is not alive. Whenever I think of Putin, I get cryogenics. Is Putin alive? He's alive. Barely. Is Ukraine going to, when it's all said and done, will Ukraine win the war? That's a yes. Okay, let's take a look at, we're just going to take a look at what is going to happen to Putin. So he's just going to keep going like the fascist that he is. People are very, 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 very angry. The war will end. Russia will have lost. The war will end. It's a lot of difficult, unspeakable emotions. One other thing I want to look at is Brittany Grimes. I'm very worried about that basketball player. I'm very, very worried about her. It's bad. You know, we haven't heard about, they're not the same category, but I just want to say we haven't heard about Navalny. Is Navalny alive? I know he's in a heinous camp. It looks like Navalny's still alive. Is Navalny going to make it? Is Navalny going to survive prison? I don't know. The pendulum is saying yes, and I'm just, I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how a human body can take that much. But it does point to possibly the end of Putin. I mean, it's going to end eventually. Brittany. Ugh. You know, it's. I know heinous things happen, and a lot of it is. We don't know why these things happen. I'm just really worried about her. Okay, it looks like Brittany will be. Obstacles will be overcome to bring Brittany home. That's good news, and it looks like arrangements are being made to bring Brittany Grimes home. And the Four of Wands is, it's going to take some more time of negotiating. I think that the United States is going to release a Russian horrible person, criminal. But the Nine of Cups, it looks like she'll be reunited with her wife and, you know, America. Yikes. Lots of stuff, everybody. It's a lot of stuff. So, here's the lowdown. If you'd like to book a reading, please send an email to annettedionpsychic@gmail.com. I do have room if you want to book a reading. And to join Grassroots of Democracy, as I always tell you, send an email to grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com and type AYE in the subject line, okay? And then if you want to just reach out to me, annettedion7@gmail.com. And that's also the email address to join us for our meditation tomorrow night. Just type 20 in the subject line for the 20-minute meditation. That's all I have for you tonight. I'm sure there's tons more, but we'd be here all night. Namaste. Please watch Church of Spirituality, and please join us in saving our democracy. I love you guys. Thank you for your lovely comments. Please know that I don't play favorites, so I don't comment back very much. But I'm with you. We will get through this together. Namaste. See you soon.